So let us learn about the prokaryotic cell. I have already told you what is a prokaryotic cell. Pro stands for primitive. Primitive means ಹಳೆದಾದಂಥದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗದೇ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೋಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ದ ಸೆಲ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ primitive type of nucleus, right? Now we will understand what is that primitive type of nucleus, why that nucleus is called as primitive type of nucleus anta navu nodona iga, right? But before we go to the nucleus, let us look into the other general characteristics of the prokaryotic cell. See, the prokaryotic cells are mainly represented by the kingdom Monera. I have already told you kingdom Monera will be made up of it is composed of all the organisms which are all prokaryotic organisms. Like you will come across bacteria, blue green algae. Blue green algae are also called as what? Cyanobacteria. ಎರಡು ಒಂದೇ. Cyanobacteria ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೇ, blue green algae ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೇ, right? And you also will come across PPLO. I have already told you what is PPLO. That is a pleuropneumonia like organism, right? Or you can also call and mycoplasma. So mycoplasma and PPLO are somewhat same, right? So these are the organisms which are representing the prokaryotic cells, and all of them are included under one group, that is kingdom Monera. Now, of course, these are all different types of bacteria only, right? That is why in the biological classification chapter, ನೀವು ಏನು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಿ? The kingdom Monera is solely represented by bacteria. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ these are all different forms of bacteria only, right? And when we consider bacteria, there are 4 different shapes of bacteria, right? So there are bacteria can be identified or classified based on classification of bacteria, bacterial cell, based on shape. We identify 4 different types of shapes here. So in the case of bacterial cell, so rod shaped bacteria, they look like this, rod shaped bacteria. So this is what is called as bacillus. Bacillus means rod shaped, okay? And round shaped, spherical shaped bacteria, see, this is what is called as coccus. This is spherical, okay? And then we come across comma shaped or spiral shaped. Before that, spiral shaped, see, they look like this, and they will have the flagella here. The spiral shaped, okay? ನೀವು ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ನ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ they look somewhat like this, spiral shaped, okay? See, these are spirali. Spirali means spiral shaped, okay? And one more, that is vibrio. Vibrio means comma shaped. They look like this. They are comma shaped. Comma shaped, okay? So these are the 4 different types of bacteria based on shape. Remember, this can be an important 2-mark question for you in the examination. So which are the 4 types of bacteria based on shape anta kelbahudu. So bacillus, ನೀವು ಹೀಗೆ ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಸಿಲಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೆದು ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ರಾಡ್ ಶೇಪ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಕೋಕಸ್ ಸ್ಫೆರಿಕಲ್ ಶೇಪ್ಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ರೌಂಡ್ ಶೇಪ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. ಸ್ಪೈರಿಲೈ ಸ್ಪೈರಲ್ ಶೇಪ್ಡ್, ವಿಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಕಾಮಾ ಶೇಪ್ಡ್, Okay, so these are the 4 different types of bacteria. Now let us study the structure of bacterial cell and understand which are the various parts present in the bacterial cell, like the different layers of the envelope, coverings ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, cell wall ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, plasma membrane ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, cell ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಮಿಟಿವ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ವಿ, ಅದೇನು ಅದು ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ಲಾಜೆಲಾ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ, what all the locomotor structures are there. So all these aspects let us try to understand with the help of a simple diagram of a bacterial cell. So ನಮಗೆ see we have got already 4 different types of bacteria, but for our convenience ನಮಗೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾನು ಬ್ಯಾಸಿಲಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾವನ್ನ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. Okay, so diagram may not be important for you, but for understanding the different aspects about bacterial cell, so you will have to have the diagram, right? Now let us study about the structure of bacterial cell. So the diagram that you are seeing now is a prokaryotic cell or a bacterial cell. So this is a representative diagram of a rod shaped or bacillus bacterial cell, in which we are going to study the various characteristic features of the bacterial cell. So as I have already mentioned, the bacterial cell normally measures from 3 to 5 micrometers, right? Maybe 1 to 3 micrometers some books refer to, but usually so that sized approximately around 3 micrometer long bacterial cell will consist of various parts like this, right? See the cell wall. See, we have already studied the 4 different types of the bacterial cell based on the shape. Which are those? Bacillus, Coccus, Vibrio and Spirillum, right? So this is the bacillus type of bacterium showing the various structures now. Now the cell wall, it is present, and the material with which the cell wall is made up of, which one? The murine or muramic acid, correct? No? Murine or muramic acid. This you already have learnt in the biological classification chapter. Now on the cell wall you can see there are 3 layers of the envelope. You can easily see, I hope, see ಕೇಸರಿ, ಬಿಳಿ ಮತ್ತು ಹಸಿರು 3 ಬಣ್ಣದ್ದು envelope ನಾನು ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. The outermost layer ಯಾವುದು? That is called as glycocalyx. See, the outermost layer or the outermost envelope of a bacterial cell or a prokaryotic cell, it is called as glycocalyx. And this glycocalyx can be of 2 different types. In some cases, in some cells, the glycocalyx, it is bound to the cell wall very adhesively, right? It is bound very thickly. So ತುಂಬಾ ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್ ನ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ, such glycocalyx which is tough, which is very adhesively bound to the cell wall, such glycocalyx is called as capsule. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪ್ರೋಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಲೈಕೋಕ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಲೇಯರ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಔಟರ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಅದು. ಸೊ ಟು ದ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೌಂಡ್ ಟು ದ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್ ವೆರಿ ಥಿಕ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಅಂಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಟಫ್ ಲೇಯರ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಸೂಲ್. If the glycocalyx is tough, it is called capsule. In some cases, the glycocalyx, it is a very loose sheath or loose covering. It is not very tightly bound to the cell wall, and such glycocalyx, it is called as slime layer. It is called as slime layer, right? So tightly bound idre capsule anta kariteve, loose idre slime layer anta kariteve, right? And already the next layer, the cell wall, nan bagge helidene adra bagge, it is made up of murine or muramic acid. And inner to the cell wall na ಒಳಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ the plasma membrane will be there. I told you, in almost all the types of cells, be it a prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell, maybe it is a plant cell or animal cell, in all the types of the cells there will be one common membrane. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೆಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿರುವ ಒಂದು ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, that is called plasma membrane, or is also called as cell membrane, right? We are going to study about the details of the plasma membrane little later in this chapter, but this plasma membrane is the innermost covering in the case of what? The bacterial cell, right? And this plasma membrane, it is folded inside. Can you see the structures like this? ನೋಡಿ ಇದು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಾ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನು, ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕೆಲವು ಫೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? See here also, you will see this structure. There are two different types of structures formed due to the infoldings of the plasma membrane. So that means the plasma membrane, it is inwardly folded into the cytoplasm. ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ cytoplasm fill ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಆ cytoplasm ನ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಇದು inwardly fold ಆಗಿ it forms some flattened sac like structures. ಫ್ಲಾಟ್ ಚೀಲದಂತಹ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ certain structures are called as mesosomes. Mesosome will carry out the functions such as respiration of the cell, replication of the genetic material or the DNA, right, and various other functions. Okay, so whereas this structure which is similar to the mesosome, but this is not actually mesosome, that is what is called as chromatophore anta kariteve. Okay, see, in the case of mesosome or maybe in the case of chromatophore, what is the significance of these infoldings? May be called as mesosome or chromatophores. ಯಾಕೆ ಇರಬೇಕಿದು? And these are present only in the prokaryotic cells. These are not present in the case of eukaryotic cells. Why is that so? It is because ನೀವು ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಬೌಂಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನಲ್ಸ್ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. Right? The membrane bound cell organelles are absent in the cytoplasm of the bacterial cell or the prokaryotic cell. But after all, this is the living cell. ಸೊ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಬೌಂಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನಲ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್? ಲೈಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಾ. ಇನ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೂಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್, ಡಬಲ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಬೌಂಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನಲ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಾ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಾ? ಟು ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಕ್ಲೋರೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಿರಿ. ಕ್ಲೋರೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಕ್ಲೋರೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫಿಲ್ ಪಿಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಹಿಡಿದಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್, right? But ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ respiration ಆಗಬೇಕು. And some of the prokaryotic cells also are photosynthetic. That means they also will produce their own food. They also are involved in the process of photosynthesis. That means ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೋರೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಆದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲೋರೋಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮೈಟೋಕಾಂಡ್ರಿಯಾ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Even in the case of the absence of mitochondria and chloroplast, the functions to be carried out by those organelles are still carried out in this prokaryotic cell. How is that? The best example, that is that. So, the prokaryotic cell alli mitochondria irudilla, ಅದರ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ mesosomes ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Chloroplast irudilla. Chloroplast function ಏನು? To hold the pigments, right? The pigments are stored within the chloroplast, right? So ಆ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಕ್ರೊಮ್ಯಾಟೋಫೋರ್. ಕ್ರೋಮಾ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕಲರ್. ಕ್ರೊಮ್ಯಾಟೋಫೋರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕಲರ್ಫುಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕಲರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಹಿಡಿದಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕ್ರೊಮ್ಯಾಟೋಫೋರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ದ ಗ್ರಾನ್ಯುಲಾರ್ ಪಿಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಪೌಡರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಪಿಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಿಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, right? So cyanobacteria ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ರಿ biological classification ನಲ್ಲಿ. Say there you have learnt about the xanthophylls, carotenoids, right? Chlorophyll pigment, definitely that will be present. Like that, different types of pigments are present, stored in the form of granules in the structure called as chromatophore. Okay, then inside, see, this is all the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, what all is present? Exactly at the center that you are seeing, this is what is called as, see, this structure, it is called nucleoid or incipient nucleus, meaning it is a false nucleus. That means idu true nucleus alla. ಯಾಕಲ್ಲ? ಟ್ರೂ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇದರ ಸುತ್ತ ಒಂದು ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಎನ್ವೆಲಪ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ, ಅದಿರಬೇಕು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್, right? And it does not have any nucleolus, right? So it is just one chromosome, a single chromosome, which is actually having double stranded circular DNA. Okay, so that DNA is placed at the center of the cell in the cytoplasm. So but still it will be surrounded with some proteins which will make this DNA to be present at one position. ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so but there are certain proteins like in the case of eukaryotic cells ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಕಲ್ತಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ there are some specialized proteins ಇರುತ್ತೆ called histones ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಆ specialized proteinಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, that is one more difference with respect to the nucleus of the which one eukaryotes. And here this nucleus actually nucleus ಅಲ್ಲ, nucleoid ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ nucleus ನ ತರ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ nucleoid. ಓಕೆ, ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋಯ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಲಿತೀರಿ. ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯಾಯ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಾಯ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ಸಿಪಿಯಂಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ ಅಥವಾ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಡೆಡ್ ಸರ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ DNA, right, that is present at the center. And of course this DNA will be carrying various characteristics, and the genetic information present in this particular DNA will be expressed. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು ಯಾವುದು ಇದೆ. And this will be the DNA that will be inherited. So reproduction ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ, so reproduction ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, so this will be the DNA that will be transmitted from one generation to another generation, and that is how the characteristics of this cell will be also inherited, will be also transferred to the next generation, right? And here you will see one more type of DNA, or you can say this is the extranuclear circular double stranded DNA which can replicate on its own. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್? ಸಿ, ಈ DNA ನ ಹೊರತುಪಡಿಸಿ ಇದು ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ DNA ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ ಅಥವಾ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಾಯ್ಡ್ DNA ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೊರತುಪಡಿಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಅದರ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ DNA, ಅವುಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್, ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಡೆಡ್, DS means double stranded circular extranuclear self-replicating DNA which is present only in the cytoplasm of bacterial cell. ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್ ಗಳೇನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರೊಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್ ನ ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಎನಿ ಯೂಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್. Okay, see, these have got their own significance, of course, in the inheritance of the characteristics. That means either the character in next generation ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, and they also have got other significance in the field of biotechnology research or genetic research. That we will understand later. Plasmid ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ okay? And then apart from this, in the cytoplasm we also see ribosomes, and the ribosomes present in the bacterial cell or the prokaryotic cell, they are called as 70S type of ribosome. 70S type of ribosome. Here S stands for Swedberg unit. Swedberg unit or sedimentation coefficient. Swedberg unit ಅಥವಾ sedimentation coefficient ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಹಾಗಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ while we learn about the ribosome, particularly about the ribosome ಕಲಿತಿರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ I will tell you. But you just remember ribosomes present in the cytoplasm of the prokaryotic cell or a bacterial cell are of what type? 70S type. Okay, then you will also see what there are certain granular substances which are generally referred to as the cell inclusions anta kariteve. Cell inclusions anta helidre these are small granular substances which are basically phosphate granules athwa cyanophycean granules anta kariteve athwa glycogen granules anta kariteve. These are the various chemical products or small granular like substances which will act as the stored food material which will provide energy during the metabolic activities of the bacterial cell. Okay, so this is all consisting in the cytoplasm of the bacterial cell. You know what is cytoplasm? It is a semi-fluid matrix. semi-fluid matrix. So ಈ cytoplasm ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. And there are no membrane bound cell organelles here. That is very important point to be remembered. Ribosomes ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Ribosomes are non-membrane bound. They are present here. Correct, no? And apart from this, what else do we see in the bacterial cell structure is flagella. What are flagella? See, of course, in this bacterial cell that I have drawn, two flagella. ಕೆಲವೊಂದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಕೆಲವೊಂದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಇರಬಹುದು, ಕೆಲವೊಂದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬಹುದು, right? So depending upon different species of bacteria, the number of the flagella also will be different. Flagella andre they are the locomotory organs. They are the locomotory organs, and these flagella, they have got three structures. That means ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಫ್ಲಾಜೆಲಾದಲ್ಲಿ the point of attachment of the flagellum to the bacterial cell, ಸೆಲ್ಗೆ ಫ್ಲಾಜೆಲಾ ಬಂದು ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗುವಂತಹ ರೀಜನ್ ಗೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಬೇಸಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ನೋಡಿ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡ್ರಾ ಇಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. See, if this is the cell wall, if the flagellum is attached here, see, this is called basal body anta kariteve. Basal body anta kariteve. And the filament like structure, that means a long thread like structure, it is called as filament. It is a filament which will be free to make movements. ಹೀಗೆ ಫ್ರೀ ಆಗಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು. And the point of attachment of the filament with the basal body, ಇದು basal body ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it is the point of attachment of the entire flagellum to the cell of the bacteria, right? But ಈ ಎರಡನ್ನ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ there is one more small structure that is called as hook. Okay, so basal body, hook and filament are the three structures of the bacterial flagella. The bacterial flagella du structure eukaryotic flagella structure inda ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so this is how. And apart from this, you will also see many tiny hair-like structures present all over the body of the bacterial cell or the prokaryotic cell. What are these? No, they are not cilia. Cilia ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು, but they are not cilia. These are called as what? Here I have, see, ಇಲ್ಲಿ red like structures, red color ಇಂದ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ತೋರಿಸಿದೆ ನಾನು. These are called as fimbriae. The small red colored structures, small bristle like or small hair like structures ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. They are called fimbriae. Their function ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ is to help in the attachment of the cell to substratum. Have you seen the sport shoes? If you have you used sport shoes, especially running shoes ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂತ ಶೂ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೋಲ್ ನ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ there are sharp spine like structures ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? Why they are there? To provide good grip. Yes or no? Similarly, so somewhat similar mechanism works here. Fimbriae ಯಾಕಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ when it tries to attach on to any substratum, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಗ್ರಿಪ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಫಿಂಬ್ರಿಯೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. And apart from fimbriae, you also have got some little longer or elongated yellow line like structures or yellow hair like structures which are called as pili. ಒಂದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಪೈಲಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀಬಹುದು. Pilus is singular, pili is plural. Okay, see, the function of this is what? Actually, they are involved in a kind of sexual reproduction that takes place in bacteria, where two bacterial cells, they come in contact with each other like this. This is one bacterial cell and this is another bacterial cell. ಎರಡು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. And see, in between these two, a tube-like structure is formed. And that tube-like structure, it is called as conjugation tube ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ. The conjugation tube will help in the transfer of genetic material from one bacterial cell to another bacterial cell. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು donor ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು acceptor ಇರುತ್ತೆ. The one cell which is called as donor will give its genetic material to the other which is called as acceptor. Okay, genetic material will be transferred from one cell to another cell through this tube like structure called conjugation tube, and this process is called as conjugation. So during this process of conjugation, what the conjugation tube is formed, this conjugation tube is formed by these pili. That is why they are also called as sex pili anta kariteve. Actually in bacterial cells there is actually absence of sexual reproduction. Reproduction irudilla prokaryotic cells nalli, sexual reproduction irudilla. They will only undergo what? Binary fission, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬೈನರಿ ಫಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ ಅಥವಾ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಮೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಬಟ್ in this case where the genetic material is transferred from one cell to another cell, which is also the basis of sexual reproduction, that is why it can be considered as a type of sexual reproduction, but it is actually called as what? Conjugation. Conjugation is done by the formation of the conjugation tube. Conjugation tube is formed by what? Pili, and that is why they are also called as sex pili. Okay, so this is the structure of the bacterial cell. Okay, so the entire structure, as I have already told you, the diagram may not be important. Diagram is definitely not important. Nobody will ask you to draw this diagram, but the characteristics of the bacterial cells, ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತರೆಗೂ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು, right from what the envelope, glycocalyx ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಯಾವುದು ಎರಡು ಟೈಪ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, cell wall, what is it made up of, plasma membrane, the infoldings of the plasma membrane such as the mesosome, what is mesosome can be a very important one mark question, chromatophore ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು, and the cytoplasm of the bacterial cell, what all it consists of. It will be consisting of the nucleoid, the plasmids, right, and the synophysian granules, phosphate granules or glycogen granules irbodu, right, and ribosomes. These are also ribosomes. Okay, so these are all present inside that, and flagella, which is made up of the basal body, hook and filament, and also the what? Fimbriae and pili. So all these structures, characteristics of the bacterial cell or the prokaryotic cell, you need to remember. Right, and as I have mentioned, mycoplasma, remember this can also be one mark important question. Mycoplasma is the only genus. Mycoplasma is a type of bacterial cell, a type of bacterium that lacks the cell wall. So idu bacterium anta ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ, but ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದ್ದು ಕೂಡ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ದ what? Cell wall. That is the only difference, right? So as I have already told you, flagella may be present, flagella may not be present, depending upon the species of bacterium, right? In the next session we can consider the eukaryotic cells. We can talk about the plant cell, animal cell differences. But before we go for that, in the next session I will tell you about the basic differences between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells.